Hey guys, John V here from Phone Right Now. Right now I have the Acer ICONIA TAB A200 and I'm just going to run a couple benchmark tests, show you the kind of results the tablet is able to get out of the box. Now as far as just the specs, it's nothing really we haven't seen before just because it packs the usual NVIDIA Tegra 2 processor, dual core obviously, and also is coupled with 1 GB RAM. And of course when you compare that to something like the Transformer Prime with its quad-core processor, it doesn't seem as impressive as before when NVIDIA Tegra 2 tablets first came onto the scene. As far as the performance out of the box, we don't have that many widgets right now. You could tell it's very fluid as far as its movement, the tracking of our finger. Very nice with static wallpaper. You launch a bunch of different applications, go through the app listing here. Let's go to the gallery. You could tell that it is pretty quick with its movements here, so it's nice and fluid. But let's switch it up to a live wallpaper, something that's a little bit more processor intensive, just to see what kind of results. Not that many here, so let's just choose one for example. Now, this isn't the most processor intensive live wallpaper out there. It's still a good fluid rate, you could tell. Just a hint of choppiness, not that bad. Put it back to portrait here. Usually portrait, you notice there's just a slight delay with its movement here. And again, that's just typical of what we see with pretty much most honeycomb tablets. So let's bring it back to a static wallpaper here, and we're gonna run the first benchmark test, being quadrant. Let's just run that. Now we've already ran the test here. As far as just the results, nothing really all that impressive. Here's one of the tests that we ran. Put up a score of 1814. Let's just run it again here, so you can see exactly what it's going to be able to put out. Again, it's just all in a matter of what you feel is a good speed with the tablet. And out of the box, it's nice. It's not the most the most responsive thing we checked out. When you compare it to the Asus Transformer Prime that we got a hands-on look, you definitely notice it's not as fluid as before. As far as these graphical tests are concerned, pretty much the results are pretty typical of any other honeycomb tablet, like this one here running around 30 frames per second on the average. It's jumpy between 25 to 30, but that's pretty normal. This next graphical test here, normally we see 60 frames per second, but it's running between 40 and 50, so not strongest. And this last one here, jumping way up and down between 30 to 60 frames per second. So right off the bat, you could tell already that the results aren't going to be all that stellar. So let's take a look and see what the results are here for this first one. Again, 1814 for the first one we checked out, and we're just waiting here for a moment. Make sure we're connected to the internet. Yep, sure are. And there you go. So it is a score of 1512, nothing that great. Let's just run it real quick again. Let's see if we get a consistent score. And that's pretty much the figures that we run into between 1500, 1800. It doesn't break the 2000 mark. We've seen other devices, even smartphones like the Galaxy S2 line, break easily into the 3000 mark. So this is nothing really all that impressive. But for just basic tasks, it's more than sufficient. Again, all these graphical tests pretty much in line to what we've seen in other tablets, 30-40 frames per second on the average with this graphical component here, graphical test here. Next one should be coming up. Still quick as far as the overall completion of the quadrant benchmark test, but not as fast as some other tablets out there. So it's going to wrap up here, and here we go. So this time around, it puts in 1815. Again, what we saw earlier, nothing that great. So if we let's go take a look at the Antutu benchmark. We've ran it, and here are the results. So let's just go back. So here are the results. Now, an overall score, you can tell all the components of the test here. It gave it a final score of 5018. So when we put that in the score chart, and we compare it to some of the other devices out there on the market, just swipe over. You can tell the Asus Transformer Prime at the top of the list here, putting in pretty nice number. Just see if we can zoom out here. So here we go. Just resize it so you can see. Put it back to bar. There we go. So the Asus Transformer Prime at the top list: Galaxy Note, Galaxy Nexus, Galaxy S2. This device, pretty much on par to what you find the LG Optimus 2X and the Amazon Kindle Fire, apparently 5018. So nothing all that stellar. So that's pretty much it, guys. If you want to learn more about the Acer ICONIA Tab A200, check out our website, phonearena.com.